Listen up. This is a Saturday Morning TVLog from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Welcome to another Saturday Morning TVLog, and this time around it's Mr. T, brought to us by Ruby Spears. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm Doyle, of course, the Big D. So, today's Saturday Morning TVLog is Mr. T, yes. This is a show I grew up watching. An animated series that was produced by Ruby Spears, premiered on NBC in the fall of 1983, just over a half a year after the A-Team had debuted earlier that year. After the title character had been so successful as a wrestler, and then following up by being introduced to the movie, TV, entertainment world as Clubber Lang in Rocky III, and then following up as B.A. Baracus on the A-Team, which became so popular, Mr. T got his own show. Anyway, now, let's see. The show focuses on the title character as a coach to a gymnastics team, with a specific emphasis on various members while traveling the world while becoming involved in and solving various mysteries. Almost not quite like Scooby-Doo, because these are more darker, kind of a darker feeling or something like that. But even so, like I said, this is a show I grew up with. Mr. T, of course, plays himself, as he also appears in a live-action introduction and closing. At the beginning of each episode, Mr. T appears and explains what's going on before the adventure begins. Now, if you don't know about Mr. T, he'll introduce himself at the beginning of the first episode. Listen up. Name's Mr. T. First name's Mr., middle name's at period, last name T. And then that's what he did in the first episode. But anyway, now he appears in the gym or outside for the first season, and then for the rest of the series he's at some camp with kids and what have you, but don't know where that is though, but well, it's kind of a mystery even to me. Anyway, at the end of every episode, Mr. T himself narrates a moral lesson for the audience. So this show was definitely a good experience if your kids have never seen it. This is a show I would highly recommend you getting your kids to watch if you've seen this growing up, so I'm just giving you an early heads up. Anyway, the show ended in 85, but continued in reruns for the 85 and 86 season. After three seasons and 30 episodes were produced and aired. The first season had 13 episodes, and then there was 11 more for the second season, and 6 for the third and final season. Now then, aside from our title character, we also have, the well-mannered bus driver to the team, Miss Priscilla Bisbee, who loves mystery novels, and like Mr. T, of course, he's always saying his catchphrase, "I paid the fool." And her catchphrase is, "My stars and garters." That's kind of almost like what I'd hear Beast say in X-Men. Anyway, now there's also the team of teens. Now let's see. Now there's actually 5 of them in the core cast. First up is Jeff Harris, who happens to be the wise guy of the team with a big ego. Next is Willie Daniels, an African-American gymnast and Jeff's friendly rival. He hopes to become a lawyer when he retires from gymnastics. He was voiced by Phil Lamar, and this was, of course, one of his first ever voice acting roles. He went on to do lots of other animated series and stuff like that. Really cool. Next up is Robin O'Neill, the beautiful green-eyed redhead with freckles who's eager to jump into any situation. And she also acts as Mr. T's second command, and she has a catchphrase as well. It's like, what the hairy heck? Yes, Hairy. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? And then there's Kim Nakamura, a Japanese girl who is daughter to a computer scientist, and she has a photographic memory that comes in handy as she can remember various magazine articles and book passages, including the issue or volume and the page she read on. Incredible. Yeah, I was something like that as well. Well, most of the time, anyway. But then, of course, the fifth member is, of course, Robin's kid brother, Spike, who happens to worship Mr. T. Now, in one of the episodes, it's revealed that Spike is just a nickname. His real name's never revealed and what have you. They do have, various other supporting members to the team. Sky Redfern, a Native American gymnast whose grandfather was accused of a crime. Garcia Lopez, a Latin American gymnast whose big brother, Miguel, is an archaeologist. He is a keen photographer, even. Let's see. Vince D'Amato, an Italian American who has dreams of being a movie star. Let's see. And Courtney Howard, an African American girl gymnast whose father is a major in the military. And her uncle is a magician who was previously a burglar. We'd have one more additional member shown just for one episode, Grant Klein, who was an ex-gang member who turned his life around thanks to Jeff. And then, of course, well, I couldn't forget one other member of the team, and that's, of course, Mr. T's bulldog with a similar mohawk to his, the bull known as Bulldozer, or Dozer for short. But anyway, I think this show is just so incredible. Now, I've seen every episode of this, and after the show ended, the show later got rerun on the USA Network Cartoon Express, which I also saw. Well, most notably when I was at my pop's. And then later on, it also aired on Boomerang, since Cartoon Network didn't air it much. They only aired it maybe once or twice in their Look What We Found bit, but I never got to watch that show, unfortunately. But when Boomerang picked up, I got to see the show again. It more recently aired as part of the Adult Swim block, along with another Ruby Spears series, Chuck Norris Karate Commandos, which that happened to premiere after this show had ended in 1986, which also had a live-action introduction and moral ending from Chuck Norris himself. I'll do a TV log of that, since that aired on the weekdays and not Saturdays, I just found out. But anyway, Mr. T is definitely one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite Ruby Spears shows. Don't get me wrong, I know lots of people like other Ruby Spears shows, like Alvin and the Chipmunks, which I happened to premiere the same year this show did in '83, and then also came on ABC. Or heck, even Thunder the Barbarian, which actually got to be shown on NBC as well that year. But in a shorter way, though. But even so, I really do like Mr. T. It's definitely one of my absolute favorites. And I think it's a show that I think you will enjoy if you've seen it as an '80s kid. But I'm sure if you got the sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Well, the first season has been released by the Warner Archive. The rest has yet to come. But the good news is the full series is currently available on Tubi. So go if you have Tubi. Where if you're on there, or if you're just on as a guest, please check out and make sure to have your kids watch this with you, okay? Because I think they'll really like it, and I think they'll learn a good, valuable lesson. And as always, I always like it when Mr. T ends, most of the time at the end of his movie, it's like, take it from me, Mr. T. Yeah. Really good. So, it also had some good music as well. Of course, this was also one of the first shows to have music composed by, or co-composed by Haynes Saban and Shuki Levy, who also composed the music for two other shows that came out in 1983. And those, of course, were the original He-Man, The Masters of the Universe, and Inspector Gadget. And later on, Udi Harpaz would join. Of course, he composed the music for the Chuck Norris cartoon, plus maybe a few other shows, I think. But anyway, now I'll go ahead and give the voice acting cast. Mr. T, of course, does himself. Miss Bisbee is voiced by Takayo Fisher. Jeff is voiced by Sean Lieber. And of course, I've mentioned Phil Lamar does the voice of Woody. Voicing Robin is Amy Linker. Kim is voiced by Sue Ming Carson. Spike is voiced by Teddy Field III. Sky Redfern is voiced by Kathy Cavadini, who, of course, you may know her as the original voice of, well, not the original, the voice of Blossom in the original Powerpuff Girls years later, as well as the voice of Tanya Moskowitz in An American Tale, Fievel Goes West, and its spinoff, Fievel's American Tales. Let's see. But the rest are just kind of voiced by various actors, but you know the rest. That's just the core cast and what have you. So anyway, Mr. T is definitely one of my top favorite Ruby Spears produced series, alongside Thundar and there's so many others. I mean, I like a lot of other Ruby Spears shows. Plastic Man's one, and heck, even though I didn't watch it as a kid, I grew up watching it in reruns. Centurions was pretty good. Well, the list could go on. But anyway, definitely look into Mr. T if you've never seen it. This is I highly recommend it. But if you've seen the Mr. T cartoon, please tell me what you thought about in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel as well, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next Saturday morning when I talk about a show that's actually going to be turning 40 later this year, Black Star. Thanks for watching, and if you like this, you might want to check out these other Saturday Morning TV logs. In the upper left-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TV log for Clue Club from 1976, which is turning 45 later on this year. Or go to the upper right-hand corner for my Saturday Morning TV log of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids, which I did earlier this year. Or if you want to lay off the mysteries, go to the bottom left-hand corner for my previous Saturday Morning TV log of Francine Pascal's Sweet Valley High. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. And don't forget to catch my live stream of Smokey and the Bandit tonight at 8 o'clock Central Time on my channel. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.